Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel, and today, welcome to my Game Week 3 Serie A Predictions. Of course, we're back again with another Serie A Game Week Predictions. Make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay then, so the first game is today at 5:30. It is Venezia against Torino. Now, of course, Venezia drew 0-0 with Fiorentina in the last game, which was quite a good result for them. Of course, Torino with a 2-1 victory over Atalanta. I mean, for Venezia, a draw against Atalanta, it's a very good result. I mean, looking at the stats in the first half, looked a bit even. Of course, Fiorentina with a lot more shots on goal, but second half, Venezia kind of got back into the game a bit. But overall, excuse me, but overall, I think a draw for Venezia away in Florence against Fiorentina is a good result. See, Torino with the win against Atalanta, big win for them. But I'll tell you what, second half dominated by Atalanta, so fair play to Torino to go out there and get a win. Also, Shea Adams scoring for Torino, but Venezia, maybe they feel they could get something out of this one, but I don't think it'll happen. I think Torino get the win here. So my prediction is Venezia 0, Torino 2. Okay, then we now move on to the next game, which is also today at 7:45 from San Siro. It's probably the first big game, or second big game, I should say, as Inter Milan face Atalanta at San Siro. Of course, Inter obviously beat Lecce 2-0 in the last game. Of course, like I just said about Atalanta, they did lose 2-1 to Torino. Of course, also, like I did just say, obviously it was a very dominant second half display from Atalanta in Turin against Torino. So Atalanta maybe feel they could go into this game today. Maybe they could get something out of this one. I mean, 11,977 votes have been voted on FOTMob. 72% for a win for Inter, 14% for a draw, and 14% for an Atalanta win. So Inter clearly the favourites coming into this one, and I think Inter win this one as well. So I think Atalanta will make it tight for them. It'll be very close, but I'm gonna go with a win for Inzaghi's team. So I am gonna go 2-1 to Inter. Okay, then moving on to the games tomorrow at 5:30 in Bologna. It is Bologna against Empoli. Of course, I did watch both of these teams on Sunday. Of course, Bologna losing 3-0 to Napoli. Empoli with a massive win as they beat Danilo De Rossi's Roma 2-1 at the Stadio Olimpico. I mean, for Empoli, I thought, yeah, they didn't have a lot of possession in the game, but they had a lot of shots, and that's probably the problem Roma had, is that they had a lot of possession, but they weren't really creating any chances. I mean, Bologna, first half, they weren't great. A bit the second half, they were okay, but overall, it wasn't a performance that Vincenzo Italiano and Bologna wanted. So it'll be an interesting game, considering, Empoli, beat Empoli beat Roma. Of course, match day 1 they drew with Monza, who obviously got a new manager, who looked decent obviously before the season started. So I have a feeling Empoli could get something out of this one, but Bologna obviously will want to go in and win this one. But I'm going to go with a draw. I just have a weird feeling Empoli will get something out of this, so I'm going to go 1-1. Okay, then I'm moving on to the other 5:30 kickoff, and it is from the Stadio Ettore Gara. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's Lecce against Cagliari. Obviously Lecce obviously lost it into 2-0. I mean, again, it was kind of expected. Cagliari drawing 1-1 with Como. I mean, I was thinking, do I watch the game? Do I know? I didn't watch it in the end, but overall, it did look a very decent game. It looked quite even, very scrappy, it looks like. So, I mean, looking at the stats and stuff, it looks like a draw was probably a fair result for both teams. But Cagliari, obviously, 2 draws so far. So, drew with Roma, good result. Como, a draw, decent result, I guess, obviously, for Lecce. It's not the start they've won. They've already conceded 6 goals after 2 games. So, just for that reason, I'm going to go with an away win for Cagliari. So my prediction is Lecce 0, Cagliari 2. And the next game comes from the Stadio Olimpico. It's a big game. It is Lazio against AC Milan. Of course, Lazio losing in Udine to Udinese 2-1, whilst for AC Milan, they lost to Parma. I mean, what is going on with AC Milan? Of course, not the season they wanted to start with at all. Of course, 2-2 draw with Torino. Had to score two late goals to get a point out of that one. And even though they were quite dominant in the second half, losing to the newly promoted Parma Calcio, but I don't know what is going on really with Milan at the moment. But I mean, of course, as today, at the time of recording, is transfer deadline day. Milan looks like they are going to get Tammy Abraham on loan from Roma, which could be an alright signing. And obviously, Salamakis is going the other way to Roma, I think. But, I mean, Lazio, I mean, considering they beat Venezia quite comfortably in match day one, I mean, this game against Udinese, I mean, not the result they want. I mean, the second goal, by the way, for Udinese, I mean, the defender from Lazio is atrocious. But I'm going to go with a draw here. I'm going to go with a Desmond. So my prediction is Lazio 2, AC Milan 2. Okay, and the next game, which I'm kind of looking forward to, from the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, is Napoli against Parma. Now, obviously, Napoli with a big win against Bologna, because I did watch that game. I thought Napoli were brilliant. I thought they were the better team. And obviously for Parma, a 2-1 win for them against AC Milan, a very massive result for them. And I think Parma will feel quite confident going into this one. I think Parma will feel that, go on then, we can actually get something out of this game. But Napoli, considering on match they won, they lost to Verona. So I think that win for Napoli was big. I thought Napoli as well, they played very, very well. I mean, the first goal was a lovely goal. Di Lorenzo played to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia literally with a little chip over to Di Lorenzo. Probably that assist from Kvaratskhelia is probably up there for assist of the season. It was an unreal assist. And then obviously the goal from Di Lorenzo is amazing as well. But I think, like I said, Parma started the season well, so I think they'll be feeling quite confident going to Naples. Of course, like I also said, as today is actually transfer deadline day, it looks like Victor Osimhen is finally leaving Napoli, because it looks like he is going to Al Ahly in Saudi. But obviously, they can only sign one of Ivan Toney or Osimhen. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with Al Hilal. But I mean, they actually could sign both of them if Al Hilal. Al Ahly, sell one of their European players. So we'll have to see what happens with Victor Osimhen today. But I'm gonna go. It'll be a tight one, but I'm gonna go with a win for Napoli. Parma will definitely put out a fight. It's gonna be a very scrappy game, very tight. Napoli 2, Parma 1 is my prediction. I think Napoli just to scrape a win 2-1. Okay, but now we move on to Sunday's games, and the first game in Florence. I think this could be an interesting game. It's Fiorentina against Monza. And of course, speaking of Monza, it is the Italian Grand Prix this weekend. Obviously, hopefully Lando Norris gets the win. Monza lost to Genoa 1-0 in their last game. Probably a result that they didn't want. In honesty, obviously, Fiorentina 0-0 draw with Venezia. But they actually did play last night as they beat Puskás FC Academy on penalties in the Europa Conference. Course, they play in the Hungarian League. I mean, David De Gea saved a penalty in that one. But ow. Shit. But yeah, but overall, I mean, this will be a tight game. Of course, Monza will probably. I think Monza could get something out of this, but Fiorentina, I think, win this one. But again, like I said about Parma, I think Monza will give a fight. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Fiorentina. Okay, and then the next game, also 5:30 on Sunday, from the Stadio Comunale Luigi Ferreras. It is Genoa against Hellas Verona. Obviously, Genoa beat Monza 1-0, massive win for them. Verona obviously lost to Juve, which was kind of expected, considering the way Juve have started the season. But maybe Verona could get something out of this one. But Genoa, going to Monza away and winning is a big result for them. So my prediction, it'll be a tight one, but I'm going to go with a home win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Genoa. Okay, then moving on to the penultimate game from the Allianz Stadium in Turin. It is Juventus versus Roma. Now, obviously, Roma are obviously going to lose Tammy Abraham, but it looks like they are signing Salamakis on loan, which is decent signing. It looks like overall, but Juve, I mean, of course, they have actually signed Coop Miners. They've been linked with him for a long time, but it's finally in the door. I bet the Juve fans very happy to get that deal over the line. Obviously, they have signed Conceição from Porto, and it was Nico Gonzalez who they signed from Fiorentina. So they have signed some decent players, but obviously they have sold Federico Chiesa to Liverpool. He is gone. He's out the door, and wonder what Juve fans will think of that one. Roma obviously lost to Empoli. I mean, like I said in the full-time reaction to that game, Roma had a lot of the ball, but they just weren't creating any chances. But this is going to be a tough game for Roma. Juve, probably one of the best teams in Europe at the moment, and I think Mota's team are going to win here. So I'm going to go 3-0 to Juventus. Okay, and the final game of game week 3 is from the Brunelleschi Stadium in Udine as Udinese take on Como. Now, obviously, Udinese got a big win against Lazio. Of course, Como with a 1-1 draw against Cagliari. Of course, I did say in game week 2 that Como would beat Cagliari. Obviously, I was wrong. But again, I mean, I said Como could get something. And I think Como could get something out of this one as well. I mean, Udinese, of course, I mean, the win against Lazio is absolutely massive for them. So well done for them for winning that one. But this will be a tight game, Como, I think I don't know, I have a feeling I get something. I'm going to go with another Desmond. Udinese 2, Como 2 is my prediction. 2-2, and the points to be shared in Udine. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Smash your like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.